bailed from England, giving up their senior royal titles because they wanted a better future for themselves.
It's what I hope can be a more peaceful life.
On so many levels, Harry's frustrations are understandable. A husband and a father with a wife who was skewered in the press.
He'll always serve his queen and his country, but he now needs to serve Archie and Meghan.
Indeed, they desperately wanted to get as far away from the British media as possible, but that's more a dream than a reality.
That's wishful thinking.
Steve Ginsburg owns the Backgrid Paparazzi Agency.
Both of them are celebrities in their own right for their own reasons, and they're a huge global news story, so to think that they're going to get away from the media or the paparazzi, in my opinion, I just don't see it.
They may well find things are actually worse in Canada than Great Britain.
They won't have the protections that they had in the UK. A lot of the UK press are not able to cover the royal family, you know, with the long lens, with the paparazzi shots, because of different regulations that were brought into place after Diana's death. And now they're in a different country. None of that applies.
And check this out. Meghan has already threatened to sue the British media for publishing photos of her out with Archie and the dogs on Vancouver Island. That lawsuit would never fly in Canada.
I do worry that at some point they're going to think, what have we done? You know, we should have just stayed in the UK, where at least they had that kind of shelter of the palace walls. And now, really, it's them fending for themselves over in Canada.
If they end up in the US and we're told it may only be a matter of time until they migrate to Hollywood, the laws are even less protective. Case in point, Halle Berry threatened to move her and her daughter to France back in 2012. In the middle of her divorce from Gabriel Aubry, she went before the divorce judge, arguing the French paparazzi leave celebs alone. The irony, of course, the French paparazzi are way more aggressive, and many say Princess Diana died as a result of out-of-control photogs. And speaking of Princess Diana, Harry and Meghan's move to Canada is something she'd understand.
I just think we all saw the evidence of Diana being such a wonderful mother and loving her boys so much, and that whole family unit that she fought for, the normalcy in their lives. And I understand there are parts of being, you know, in the royal family that must be extraordinarily challenging. I mean, that's why over the years we've seen very few commoners marry into the royal family.
If Harry and Meghan think the paparazzi won't get on a plane and fly to Canada, Hollywood, or any place else they land, well, they need to think again.
It doesn't matter if Meghan and Harry flew to Antarctica or to Canada or to either end of the world. Photographers and journalists are going to go there to cover this story. It's not about the geographical location. It's about the newsworthiness of this story.
So Harry and Meghan are starting a new life together in a faraway land. The big question, if it doesn't work out, can they ever go back to Great Britain?
I don't know how you come back to the institution of monarchy, because it's not just the Queen saying, yes, come back with open arms. You have to come back with the British public's acceptance as well. You know, the public is fickle. Popularity is fickle.
And there are some, including Harry's estranged father-in-law, who fear he'll be a lost soul.
I don't know what Harry's going to do now. All of his friends are in England. All of his work was in England. Now he's going to Canada. What's he going to do?
He's going to kind of look around one day and think, it's just me, I'm on my own. And he doesn't really know how to live like a normal person.
There's another point of view. Another queen says, just leave Harry and Meghan alone.
When a person has sat and thought about what is the best decision I'm going to make for my family, and then he makes that decision, none of us have any right to say anything about that.
Here's what numerous people in the know have told us. Even if Harry never met Meghan, he still would have left the royal family because it's just not his thing.
I think in many ways, Harry, if he could have been born not a royal, I think in many ways he would have preferred it.
With all the frustrations, anger, and arguments, could Mexit spell the end of the monarchy as we know it?
If you end up having renegade royals running around the world like global celebrities, if you allow them to do that and to ruthlessly, commercially cash in on their royal fame, that is the beginning of the end of the monarchy. And that's why I'm stunned the Queen's allowed them to do this.
The Queen is incredibly astute when it comes to making decisions that protect the crown. And if Harry and Meghan start to look like a liability, well, if they want back, they may find out Her Highness changed the locks.
once you're gone, you're gone.
Even if the Queen shuts the door on Harry and Meghan, her dad says his door is always open for them.
I hope that they stay together and love each other and take care of their child and my grandson. And even if I never see him again, I wish them the very best. I still love them. I hope that someday maybe we do get back together. But I'm 75, so there isn't a lot of time. And it got hurt. Yeah.